Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to be sharing screen, and so if you guys tell me in the group chat if you can share, you can see my screen, that will be great. All right. Okay, so welcome everybody to this night's special event where we are going to be sharing with you about health and immunity. And tonight, this topic is something that is very close to my heart because to me, wellness and weight management are two things that are very important in terms of my personal value. So while we are all going through COVID-19, the pandemic, of course, health and immunity is very, very important as our frontline defense. So I'm going to be starting off talking a little bit about the importance of immune system and health, then moving on to how to have healthy weight as well as of course, weight loss if that's something you want to do as well. All right, so just a little bit about myself if you don't know me. Kitty Cheng's my name. I have a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology with the University of Melbourne here in Australia and an Intercultural and Community Studies with Table College. And I also have a Diploma of Coaching specializing in health and nutrition. So that is in Shaw Academy. So I'm a nutritionist by trade, but really with TLS coach and certified trainer is something that I'm really passionate about. I'm also an unfranchised or internet franchise owner, also doing the certified health coaching and training with the Transitions Lifestyle System Weight Management Solution. I'm a published author and workshop facilitator and speaker as well. So enough about me. Let me just share a little bit about the importance of today's topic, which is your health and immunity. Right, in terms of immunity, this, time that we're going through, the crisis, the challenge, and, the time that we are experiencing the COVID-19 and the pandemic is really something we need to be aware of in terms of having a good immunity, how it functions and the balance, right? So I've got a question for you. So if you can just type in the Zoom group chat your answer, I'd love to see which is something that you're able to do your answer. Okay, so when you think about your body's frontline defense, what do you consider? So what are some of the things that you think is important when we are thinking about being healthy and not letting the virus attack us even when it's rampant? What would be one or two things that you can just type in the group chat for me would be an important frontline defense? So I would love for you to interact with me. Debbie says supplementation. Absolutely. That is an extremely important thing, which we'll talk a little bit about, in this presentation. Anything else? Anything that you think is important in terms of having your frontline defense when it comes to your immune system, because that is something we need to be aware of if we want to be totally well and, having healthy weight management as well. Proper nutrition, definitely. Nutrition is something, as a nutritionist, I highly, highly recommend that we take care of. Good gut, definitely, Jay, is a very important point because our gut health is really our body health. The whole body, our gut system, our digestive system has a lot to do with how our immunity works. So thank you everyone for sharing. So I know that, something like Angela says, staying positive, enough sleep, good stress management, all of that is also extremely important. Exercise, exactly. Josephine, thank you for sharing. Water and rest, definitely, Kathleen, and water, as well as what Angela said, sleep are the two things that a lot of people don't think a lot about. In fact, the two S's that I always talk about is sleep and stress. The third one is water. These are the things that people don't think about when they think about health or weight loss. And these are the things we really do need to be aware of. Okay, so let's talk a bit about immunity. Well, your immune system is a complex system of proteins and chemicals that fight off invaders. So now when we're going through COVID-19 or the winter is coming, particularly in Australia, not so much for those of you who are in Malaysia or Singapore, but when we are actually going through our day-to-day life, really invaders are everywhere. And some of them we call like free radicals, others can be viruses or like bacteria. So if we have a good immune system that we can boost it, then we are able to have a healthier life than those that don't. So one of the very important things that you may be aware of is that you can be in a room full of sick people, but if you've got a really good immunity, then your chances of getting sick would be a lot less than those that have a weaker immunity. In fact, if you're aware of, COVID-19, there are a lot of people that have been, infested by it are those people that already have had really weak immunity. So its function is critically dependent on a lot of different factors, in fact. So that's why we need to balance your immune system and keep your dimensions of health balance, is something that we need to work towards. When we talk about optimal health, it's not just about not having symptoms of illness, but optimally healthy means all the different organs of our body, the gut, the different systems are working to its optimal state. So simple steps to strengthen your immune system include having nutrition and foods that boost your health and immunity. So when we think about immune system, boosting is the thing to do. So how do we do that? That's where TLS comes in, which I'll share a bit later. Second thing is to avoid added sugars and processed foods, because if you have a lot of sugars, they can actually cause you to actually have a weakened immune system, and at the same time processed food like junk food that you get from a lot of the fast food chains can cause havoc to our body as well. And very important thing that we can actually do to increase and improve our health is physical activity and exercise, because if we actually have a lot more movement and physical activity and workout, our body will have a lot better, hormones and things that will actually fight off those things that are not good for our body. As some of you have already shared in the group chat, supplementation, sleep are extremely important. Okay, so today I would like to specifically give you a system that will help you to have a healthy weight and also a total wellness system, which is TLS weight loss solution. In the beginning of this chat, I asked you, who do you know what TLS stands for? In fact, I don't think I've had anyone who've actually typed that in, except one person who thinks that is transformation lifestyle system. Yes, really, you can call it that, because this system is really transformational, but it's actually transitions lifestyle system. Why is it transitions? It's because we are at a state that we may not be optimally healthy. We want to be transitioning from one state to the other when we are going to find our fit. Every single one of us have different way that we can actually look for our fitness, but if we are able to find our fit, then it will be transitioning from not as well to a better health lifestyle. So TLS stands for Transitions Lifestyle System Weight Management Solution. So let me just also invite you again to type in the group chat, what are your goals when it comes to your wellness and when it comes to your weight loss? Why do you want to manage your health or your weight? Can you type in the group chat? Some of you that haven't already done so, please do so. And if you actually have a better weight or better health, how would your life be different? Okay, so can I have some people to interact with me and tell me? And if you actually have an ideal weight or your health, then would your life be different? Okay, well, some of the people that I've actually worked with, in fact, quite a lot of clients and students, hundreds of them since I started in 2014. So it's been more than 6 years now. people actually have told me it's not so much only just about themselves, it's also about their loved ones. Because I give you an example, when I was sick, when I was at my not as healthy state, it wasn't just me, but my beloved husband, my mom, my family, and my community would also be worried, right? And other people would say to me, oh, it's also being able to play with my grandkids. I've got this number of grandmas who are very, very active, and they're doing my TLS coaching, and they get better results, and they are able to then play with their grandkids. So let's have a look at some of what you've written here. All right, so Debbie says, target weight, definitely. That is a really good thing to have, because if you know what your target weight is, or in fact, it's not just weight, but body fat percentage and the different body composition, which we'll talk about, then you know where to aim for. And you'd like to look better, definitely. Looking better, feeling better, have more energy is another thing that a lot of people want to achieve as their goals. Wedding photo, that's a good one, because many of us, before we get married, we want to actually take pre-wedding photo or a wedding photo itself on the wedding day. If we can look better as a result of having better physique, better, your body fat percentage, then you would definitely be having a more memorable day. The photos will actually give you better, long-term memories, right? And of course, weight gain can trigger health issues. That is very, very true as well. So what are your struggles? There are many people who actually may be going through a lot of weight issues, but really it's not just about weight issue. Like Judith said very well, weight gain actually trigger a lot of health issues like cardiovascular, even research has been done about, things like heart attack and heart issues, as well as even cancer. So when you think about your weight, do you actually struggle with things like you have too much to do for everyone else? I know for a fact that many mothers, particularly women, they actually look after their kids, their family, then they don't look after themselves, and hence they actually put on a lot of weight, or they don't have time to exercise. They don't like to cook, or they shouldn't cook because they don't know how to. That's a very, very common thing to do. And some people say, well, I spend a lot of time at work to a point that, I just don't have time to look after myself to lose weight. And some people say, I've tried all sorts of different diets. How many of you here have actually tried other diets? If you can just tell me. You don't have to tell me what diets you've tried, but if you've tried other diets, then I tell you, we actually have had many, many people who've been through so many different diets that cause them to have what we call yo-yo dieting. I don't know whether you've heard of that term. Yo-yo dieting is something that causes us to perhaps, yes, going through a particular diet program to lose some weight, but then after that, they gain weight again, they lose weight again, up and down like that. So it's just like a yo-yo. And as a result, what happens is that metabolic age and their metabolism is compromised by at least 15 to 20%. And as a result, really, that is so unhealthy. So that's very, very important. Okay, so I can see more people have also shared about their goals as well as their struggles, which is fantastic. Thank you everyone for your interaction. I love that. Feeling good, looking good, and better health, like Rachel said, amazing. That is also my goal. I always love to feel better, look better, have better energy, better health. That way I can then contribute more, because to me, this is not just, a job or a career that I do as a weight loss and wellness coach. Is actually a mission to me. It's actually something that I feel called to do to help others as well. So if I'm not healthy myself, how am I going to be able to help others to be healthy as well, right? So that is something that I am really interested in doing and passionate about. And Kenny Lok, my friend in Malaysia there, said to look better and better health. Definitely, this is a really common, goals for many of us, in fact. And hello, Irene, to reverse diabetes, type 2 diabetes, when you have good weight weight and good health, definitely. In fact, you know, for the last 6-7 years, I've helped quite a number of people who've got type 2 diabetes to be able to use our system to actually reduce, you know, the impact that this type 2 diabetes have on them. And later on, I'm going to be sharing a bit about the glycemic impact eating. That is something very important for type 2 diabetes patients as well. And yeah, good muscle mass and all of that is very important. And of course, hello, Kamla, good to have you with us. Go on grandma diet. Well, you know what? We don't normally call it a diet. We just say, yes, as a grandma, you then will be able to play with your grandkids when you're actually having better health. So that is very important. So weight management isn't universal. Do you know that? It's not one size fits all because everyone is different, right? Some of us are grandmas, others of us are just moms, some of us like me as a wife, and others could be just a student. So every single one of us is different. So that's why it shouldn't be a one size fits all for weight management. What is right for one person is not necessarily right for you. So let's say, for me, right now, I'm in my ideal weight, but like Vera, I also want to have good muscle mass. So then my goal is then to do more muscle building exercises rather than, you know, doing so much, you know, cardio work to the point that I lose more and more body fat because I don't have that much fat to lose already. Whereas with someone that is like 150 kilos, in fact, I've had a client that is very obese to a point that like he's close to 150 kilos, which is nearly 300 pounds, whereby, you know, for that person, then they will need to be getting slowly and steadily reducing their body fat and not like quickly. So that's why with transition lifestyle system, it's not universal, it's not one size fits all. And so many commercial weight loss programs out there place an emphasis on what to eat and not how to eat. And that is not good enough because if you just think about what all the time, you don't know the how, you're not educated, then you won't be able to, once you actually finish you know, these education classes that I offer as the coaching program to continue on doing it well. So that is why it's very important. And many programs focus on weight loss rather than actual fat loss. And that is another thing that is a myth. It's not just about the numbers on the scale because, you know, with your weight, it can be muscle, it can be water. Whereas the most important thing is actual fat loss if you want to lose fat. True health and fitness is the result of optimized ratio of muscle to fat. So that's why I agree with Kamla. She said that if you believe that you can lose weight, then you can be strong and maintain that belief. Definitely, because, you know, I always tell my clients, one of the most important thing is not only just about the exercise or the food, even though they are extremely important. If you think about exercise as 30%, food is 20%, then your mindset, which is, you know, the things inside your 2 years, I always say, the mentality, the mindset would be 100%. 80% food, 20% exercise, 100% is your belief, your mindset, and your mentality. So I totally agree with you there, Kamla, that we can believe and maintain that belief in order to have the right mindset. So now, if you have a look at the photo on the right-hand side, this lady, she's got a really good physique with good body composition. And you have looked at slower metabolism means that you have a lot body fat or visceral fat than muscle. Whereas healthy metabolism, which is the one below, is that you have better muscle mass and fewer fat percentage. So the saying is that muscle dictates metabolism. So the more muscle that you have, then the more healthy metabolism that you have. So that's why if you are in an ideal weight, the next thing you need to do will be like Vera and myself to actually build up your muscle mass to have a healthier metabolism. So now, why diets don't work long-term? A lot of people say, oh, I go on a diet, then I will be able to be losing weight. Well, yes, as I mentioned, yo-yo diet, right? You can lose weight in the short term, but once you go back to it, then it will be losing and gaining, and that is not sustainable at all. So that's why you did not fail the diet. The diets failed you. So if you've been through many other diets out there, you really would know that you would actually gain back the weight. Whereas I would say to you, if you follow the transition lifestyle system, that's why it's called a lifestyle, it's not diet, then this will be your very last program that you need to be on. You don't need to be going on to any other coaching program. Okay, so with many programs out there, the diets that you actually can lose water, muscle, and sometimes even bone density. Now, these three things you don't want to lose. Water is extremely, extremely important to your health. In fact, 85 to 90% of our body is made of water. Number two is muscle. As I've already shared in the previous slide, that muscle dictates metabolism. So it's extremely important for us to have a good muscle and fat percentage. And then if we lose bone density, then we will be losing bone, and that's why a lot of people, when they're getting to a point where they would have osteoporosis, you don't want those, okay? So all calories aren't created equal. So calorie restriction isn't the answer. And it's, a lot of people say, oh, I want to just reduce calories intake. In fact, that is not the way to go. And they tell you what to eat and not how to eat. And that, as I already mentioned, the how is very important. That's why we teach you with education and programs. And the other thing that is very important for you to understand is neurological or hormonal changes from calorie depletion or eliminating of the entire food groups, hyper-focusing on others, is something a lot of those diet programs out there do. And you don't want that. We need to be aware that majority of people can lose weight easily, but others, if they have neurological or hormonal problems or diabetes 2, type 2, then they need to be aware of these changes. Then TLS can help you with our 4 components, which I'm going to be sharing with you. Now, metabolic fluctuations is another big thing that we need to take into consideration, because the fluctuations can lead us to even more weight gain, as I talked about the yo-yo effect. If you've got any question, anyone, feel free to type in the group chat after my presentation. I can actually go through it with you. But if we're getting a bit late, we only have an hour for this presentation, then I'm more than happy to receive your email. Every single one of you actually have my email. You can always email me, okay? Now, here, boosting metabolism is something I'd like to share with you. We are into losing fat, not muscle, not water or bone mass. Remember that. So many diets cause us to lose muscle, so it looks like we're losing weight, but we are not losing the right kind of weight. So extremely important for us to think about that. Muscle dictates metabolism. So the less muscle that you have, the slower your metabolism. And so that's why it's very important for us to actually lose the right kind of weight, okay? As I mentioned, with Transition Lifestyle System, which is a lifestyle program, not a diet program, we have 4 components, or you can look at it as 4 pillars. I always liken it as a chair. Now, every one of you, I would imagine, or majority of you are now sitting on a chair, if you're not standing up. Now, your chair would have 4 legs, right? And if imagine you only have 3 legs in your chair, do you think you would be steady? No, right? It's the same with our lifestyle program. You need to have all 4 of these pillars or components or legs in order to be getting the best results. And of course, if you only have 3 legs, you can still sit on a chair, but you won't get the best results. So let me explain to you what those 4 components are. First is low glycemic impact eating. Now, this is actually what, as I was sharing about, type 2 diabetes, an important consideration. Low glycemic impact eating came about 40, 50 years ago, when a lot of health practitioners got together, anywhere between GP to chiropractors to nutritionists to dietitians, all sorts of people in a conference. And they actually sat together and thought, okay, what would be the one thing in common that we could all agree on to help people that have diabetes to be healthy and to lose weight and to be getting back into their wellness? And all agree that low glycemic impact eating is the way to go. So what it is actually about eating the right kind of food, but not less food. Because many people think, okay, if I don't eat as much, I can skip meal, then I will be losing weight. In fact, that's a myth. If you skip meal, your body will tell you that you are actually, having fat storage and into a hunger mode. Now, so that's why with low GI, which tonight we don't have that much time. If you are going to be doing my program, you will actually have a whole night and a whole chapter and, of a whole week about that. But really, eating low glycemic impact is good for not only those that have type 2 diabetes, but every single one of us, because I'm going to be sharing a little bit about graph that you will understand more. All right, so that's the first component. The second component is body composition. Now, as I already alluded earlier on, our body is not just about weight. When you look at your scale, whether it's the kilos or pounds, that is not the best way to ascertain whether you are healthy or not, because when you lose weight, it can be muscle, it can be water, it can be bones, right? So if you lose the right kind of weight, which is body fat or visceral fat, then that's good. When we are looking at body composition, we are focusing on fat loss, we are focusing on improving your body, metabolism, which is the metabolic age. If you actually, measure using a 10-liter scale, which is something that you can use to measure your body composition, you can see a whole lot of things, not just the weight. You can see your body fat percentage, your visceral fat, which is the fat around your organs, your metabolic age, which, like I give you my example, I am actually 17 years younger than my real age. I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but I'm 17 years younger. And because I've been living the TLS lifestyle. And for those people that have been living the TLS lifestyle, I can tell you many of my students and clients have also been able to reduce their metabolic age to a point where they are so much younger in their body age than their actual age. The other thing is body, composition of water. Water is also very important, percentage, as well as your muscle mass and your bone mass, etc. Now, so that is something we need to be aware of. Through exercise and workout and moving your body, we can then have a better body composition. Number 3 of our 4 component of our TLS solution is science-based supplementation. So when I ask the question, what can help you improve your immunity and your health? I've seen quite a number of you have answered the right answer, which is supplementation. Now, what we have to offer with our lifestyle solution is a science-based and science-backed and totally, researched and with great scientific background and statistics behind how good it is what we call supplementation with TLS, which I'm going to be sharing a little bit with you, which is one of our flagship is isotonics, which is the same fluid pressure as your bodily fluid, which will work very, very closely with your body to enhance your weight loss efforts, to help you with your hormones, your metabolism, and all the different things that a lot of other programs don't tell you about. And remember though, that is not like magic pills and those things that other companies offer. What we have is really a science-based supplementation. Now, number 4 components is education. Well, you don't know what you don't know, right? So if you actually have education, and knowledge is power. And once you actually have the knowledge through education, then you know what is the right way. As a nutritionist, I actually had to do my diploma of coaching and nutrition, like 2 years full time. And even just that, I still now need to continually educate myself by learning more and more, because life is a continuous and never-ending learning progress. But with TLS, we have that as part of it. We have TLS certified coaches, TLS certified trainer to be able to help you with that. So being aware and, you know, change your behavior and lifestyle, which is amazing as well. Okay, so low glycemic impact eating as the #1 pillar is, you know, something we can talk for a long time, but just in a nutshell, what is low glycemic impact? Well, that is the type of food that you would eat that is in the range of what we call a GI impact of 1 to 55, that is in the fat burning zone. As you can see in front of you here, the blood sugar level would be actually in the green zone, where it's ideal for weight management. So these are the types of food that will give you the type of things like vegetables, protein and fiber and nuts and stuff like that. Whereas if you actually have high glycemic impact food, which is you can see on the right-hand side where the red zone is, and that is fat storage mode. Things like, you know, very, very sugary thing or salty things, or like cream, ice cream and pizza and stuff like that, or processed food, junk food, they are high GI foods that will spike your blood sugar. So that's why for people that have particularly type 2 diabetes, but every single one of us should not actually consume high GI food, because they will cause your body to leave your fat burning zone to get into fat storage zone and to spike your blood sugar. And then what is the result? Well, the result is to lead you to sapping of your energy. So for those of you who are actually used to having a lot of high GI foods, or like fast food or processed engineered type foods, you would realize that you get, you know, very lethargic, very tired easily. So that's why TLS is a program that can actually help you to remain energetic because of the low GI eating, as well as our supplementation, and, you know, our education will teach you about mindset as well. So that's why in order for you to find your fit, you need to go through a balanced nutrition of low to medium low GI food so that you can get back on track. So what I'd like to share with you tonight in particular is a simple short-term program designed for effective weight management, and that is what we call a TLS 30-day jumpstart. But before I continue and share that program with you, I just wanted to tell you there are different options. Of course, the 30-day is a really quick 1-month program, but we also have other programs that you can consider if you have a lot more weight to lose. So TLS Weight Management Solution is the most customizable weight management program available. So what that means is it's not one size fits all. It can be for anybody and everybody. Doesn't matter where you're at, whether you have a lot of weight to lose, a little bit of weight to lose, or people like myself who are already in ideal weight but still want to be eating healthy and continue my commitment to be, you know, reaching my optimal health. TLS, Transition Lifestyle System Weight Management Solution, is suitable to everybody. So finding a solution that fits your lifestyle is very easy, okay? So how to do that? Well, we have a free weight management profile that you can actually do in order to find out what is the best type of program for you. So the best customized plan, depending on your lifestyle, your diet, or the type of food that you eat, your activity levels, your goals, and your behavior. So depending on this, we've got, you know, more than 20 questions in this profile. Once you've answered those questions, then your certified coach or myself can help you to be able to then find out what's the best program for you to be doing it. So let's say if you decide that, or after the program or the profile, TLS, the 30-day jumpstart, is really quite a good program to start off for a number of people. If you are the type of people that want to lose anywhere between 5 to 8 kilos in 30 days to cleanse your system or to slim down, and you can do a bit of strenuous exercise, then this is really good for you. Okay, now with the 30-day, there are 2 different phases. Phase 1 is what we call the detox cleanse. Now, that is for first 7 days for a whole week. Your body, when you're eating the things that we have for you, like the vegetables, the proteins, the fruits, and the good fats, during these 7 days, your body will be renewed and replenished. In fact, you know, I'm actually leading with some of our transition lifestyle system global certified health coaches and trainers 30-day, what we call Get Lean During Quarantine exclusive group, where within these 30 days, while we are actually in lockdown, in quarantine or isolation, we are using an exclusive Facebook group to do this 30-day jumpstart, which we're actually having quite a lot of fun. And I've been able to share a lot of tips, and other members that are in the group are also sharing their menu plans, their foods and stuff like that, which is a wonderful community. So anyone here on this call, I think we've got about 50, 60 people here on that Get Lean During Quarantine. If you are, maybe you can just type in the group chat, what have you been doing and how have you been experiencing it, and do you like it? So maybe just type it there for us. All right, so then that's the phase 1. Now we are now into phase 2 already with the Get Lean During Quarantine. I know that my fellow coach Hong Ling is here as well, and so she's also doing that as part of teaching and helping alongside me and many others that are all around the world, from Canada, from US, and different places too. So fat burning in phase 2 is about, you know, how you can actually have a wonderful fat burning phase in 3 weeks after the first 1 week of detox. So you would be having, you know, different types of things, including some very scientific based supplementation. As I mentioned, you can see down there, there's some nutrition shake, some aloe juice, as well as the isotonic multivitamin and different things like that. So I can see that Debbie has said that, you know, in the fat burning phase now had reduced by 2 kilos already. Well done, Debbie. And Brian in the middle of Get Lean During Quarantine now. Wonderful. Now, so this is what I was referring to, that Get Lean During Quarantine. I know that there are more than just Debbie and Brian that are on this call as well. We've got nearly 60 people, so I'm sure that there's more than that. But anyway, if you're shy, that's okay. Now, this is the group that I'm referring to. A lean you is a healthier you. So this is the Aussie group, and there is a US and Canada group as well. And I know that there are people here that are from Malaysia, Singapore, and Hong Kong. And I'm going to be starting a specific group just for my Asian friends. And you can contact me by email me from the email that you've registered to come onto this group. And I'm going to be starting a Get Lean During Quarantine TLS Asia group. Okay, at the moment that I'm doing is the Aussie group, and I'm also part of the US and the Canada group, but the Asians that is on, that I've personally invited you as my guest, we are starting that. Okay, so thank you for that. All right, so if you can just mute yourself if you're not muted, please.
Yeah, hi, ready. Okay, well done. You want to share a little bit about?
Okay, let me just see who is not muted. Okay, good. All right, so this is what we're going through right now. So anyone that is not in the group, please mute yourself as you come in. Okay, thank you. Then you are welcome to contact me, and I'm starting, you know, a number of other Get Lean During Quarantine during the pandemic. So very, very welcome, everyone. All right. Hey, welcome, Susie. Good to see you. All right, so in terms of the different, you know, power foods, I won't go into too much detail, but just to give you a bit of a summary, we have a 7-day detox. During the detox, which will be really pretty much the first week of our 30-day jumpstart or the Get Lean During Quarantine. Then we have fat burning or fat shredder, which will help you to lose anywhere between 2 to 5 kilos. As Debbie has already shared with us, that she's even within the first couple of weeks has already reduced 2 kilos. And I've got some of my personal clients that have lost anywhere between 1 to 4 kilos within the first 2 weeks already, which is very, very good. And Brian is going to be sharing with us a little bit later. He's already done 8 weeks with me before getting to this Get Lean, and he's done really, really well as well. With rapid results, these are for people that want to be doing better, say 1 kilo per week, then they can follow the other plans. So as we mentioned, different menu plans, different recipes, different exercise, and different scientific supplementation with the education as well. Sure and steady are for people that want to be going it a bit surely but steadily, and not dive in really quickly by doing a lot of strenuous exercise. So I've actually done a lot of sure and steady with people like moms that have just given birth, and they feel like they can't do so much exercise because with the fat burning or the 30-day, we encourage people to do at least 5 days a week of exercise. That includes anywhere between cardio, weight loss, weights as in strength-based exercise, as well as flexibility and stretching. Whereas with Sure and Steady, I even have mothers that only do 1 or 2 days of walking, and with different types of special supplementation like Trim Tea and Trim Cafe, which I would highly recommend if you're not doing as much exercise to actually have as well. And continued commitment are for people like myself that has already reached the healthy weight and looking to maintain a healthy lifestyle, and also, reaching towards optimal health by looking at having more flexibility. We can have a bit of indulgence every now and then with occasional a bit of a glass of wine, a bit of cake and stuff like that. So that is what the continued commitment is. Okay, so TLS has a lot of tools to help you as well. We have a health guide and journal. So for those of you who are actually doing the 30-day or Get Lean during quarantine, you can see me. We have this thing called TLS 30-day Jumpstart Kit booklet. It has a lot of really plethora of wonderful information that tells you about the strategies, what to do, how to take photos, your checklist, because it's very important as you start to take a before photo, because by the end of it, you definitely will see a change. And the checklist about the different types of food to eat, the phase 1, phase 2, the exercise, and what constitutes the protein, the fiber, the good fats, etc. So as you get the kit, that will be in as part of your journal. But however, if you're going through a longer program, definitely good to actually have a journal. Okay, I've got one here. Which is called Create Your Success Through TLS Journal. This is for the longer program where we teach you about the 8 weeks or the most comprehensive 12-week program, where if you can use this journal, we'll be able to, for the 12 weeks, write down what you eat, how much water you drink, and how many hours of sleep, behaviors and mindset, including what you're grateful for and what your goals are, etc. So that will help you to instill behaviors and techniques to not only be losing weight, but to stay healthy long-term and be sustainable. Really, I've been using the journal even now when I'm already at my ideal weight and body fat percentage and body composition. I still go back to it and do a bit of my journaling because I love writing and journaling. So we also have a website and different social media that you can get on. So let me just share with you some of our testimonials of the people that have done really, really well using our lifestyle coaching and education. This is Karen. Karen actually was last year's TLS winner in terms of a challenge. We used to have a 21-day challenge last year. Now we've changed it to 30 days because we find that, a month is actually better off than maybe only just 21 days to instill a better jump start in doing other programs. So you can see already with Karen, the before and after photo, her body composition, her physique has improved a lot. The second person is a friend of mine who actually, you can see already the before and after, the tummy, particularly the body fat, you know, in the belly, the love handle we call it, is with the weight loss solution. Vincent really was able to not only lose, you know, weight, but more importantly, the inches, the 18 centimeters or 7 inches around his waist, the love handle. And not only that, he has more energy and feels happier, healthier, and more in control of his health. And this is the 21-day as well. That was last year's results, and that you can see Danielle was able to lose quite a fair bit of inches in her waistline too. Now, this is Gina, you know, she said that the program is much more than a nutrition and exercise program. It also focuses on the mind. As Kamla said very, very well, that if we have the belief, if we have the right mindset, even if we fall off the wagon, we can always go back on it. But I've seen time and time again, people fall off the wagon because they don't have the right mindset, then they would then, you know, give up, and that is not something we want. As a coach, as someone that really truly care about my personal clients and students, I always say to them, you can fall off the wagon 1 or 2 days, but don't give up, come back on. So that's why Gina has that experience. She lost, you know, quite a fair bit of motivation halfway through, but she got back on. And through our 12-week of education, the last 4 weeks, in fact, was totally purely about how to overcome obstacles, you know, how to reduce your stress, how to improve your mindset, etc. That focuses on your mentality. So you can see, you know, even after 21 days, this one, you know, she, this is result before and after. She started off with 21 days, but she actually continued, Gina, with the 12-week program and got fantastic result. Now, this is Jason. Jason did the comprehensive 12-week program, and he lost 20 kilos, which is really, really amazing. Even if you have a look at his left and right before and after photo, again, you know, he's not only lost weight of 20 kilos, you can see, you know, he's got more muscle, he's got better health in terms of, let's have a read what he read. He said, I have finally achieved the feeling of success, which you can't put a price on. TLS has remodified my lifestyle from being habitually sedentary and unmotivated to a healthy, positive, and active man with goals, constantly striving to be a better husband and father. See, this program, to me, is not only about helping people to lose the numbers on the scale, like Jason's case, 20 kilos. Yes, that is a good thing. But losing 20 kilos to him means he has been able to be a better father, a better husband, or for a lot of women, a better mom, better wives, or better grandmother even. You know, I've had quite a lot of good success stories of grandmothers who have been able to lose weight and has, as a result, being able to play with their grandkids. And that really gives me such happiness and satisfaction to help them do that. And like people like Jason here, you can see his genuine, joyful smile after he achieved his success with TLS and becoming so much more happy, healthy, and motivated, which is, you can put a price on it, like he said. All right, the other thing is a really good friend of ours in Melbourne here. Her name is Annie. Annie is part of our unfranchised business, and she's actually got really great results with my 12-week program. And she not only lost 4% of her body fat, she also has had her fatty liver and high blood pressure became normalized. This is a really amazing bonus, because normally when we help our clients, it's just the number of kilos that they lose, or body fat percentage, or the love handle. In this case, as you can see with Annie, the before and after photo, her waistline, which is quite a stubborn belly fat that she's had for years and years, after 3 months, see her body fat, especially the love handle, her waistline has reduced a lot, 4%, right? But not only that, the fatty liver and the high blood pressure has been able to be normalized. And she actually used trim tea, and she used some of our isotonics products like the OPC3 and the Daily Essential, as well as the isochrome. And now she's healthier, happier than ever, just like Jason before. All right, now here is my really good friend, Heidi. Heidi had twin babies, so two babies that are, one boy, one girl that are twins. And since having the babies now, they're now 4 years old now, her weight had gotten out of control and she was aching all over. She couldn't sleep for a long time after giving birth. Her skin was really suffering. The stress had gotten too much and she knew that was time for her to focus on herself and got her health back. So I introduced her to not only TLS, but a lot of the other products that was able to help her. And she has learned a new way of looking at food, exercising and prioritizing her tasks. And really, TLS, as well as the amazing scientific supplementation and the education that she's had in the 12 weeks and beyond. In fact, she's in this journey with me for more than 1 year now. She's continuously losing more weight, not only to her pre-baby's weight. She's now in her 60-something kilos, which is something that she's very proud of. I am very proud of her as well. So here is Megan. Megan works full-time while building a part-time business, and she has 3 children and struggled to take control of her weight and her health. With the lifestyle program that we offer her, she was able to lose 18 kilos and 22 inches and went from a size 18 to a size 12 in 6 weeks. And her goal is to reach size 10 in the next 3 months or so. I'm sure she can do that because she's been one of the most determined and disciplined clients. And it's really amazing that people can do that. If they can, you can too, I can assure you. Now, what I'd like to share with you right now are some of our programs that, depending on your profile, once you do that, then you can do depending on what is the best for you. As I mentioned, the TLS 30-day jumpstart is what we're going to be doing with the Get Lean during quarantine with the 30 days, particularly for those of you who are in Malaysia, Singapore, Hong Kong. But if you're in Australia, I also will run that as well, and you're very welcome to approach me. And or you can go back to the person who personally invited you. If they're personal TLS coach, of course, work with them as well. And we also have a Feel Great in 8, which is an 8-week program. In 2 months, you can lose pretty much, anywhere between 10 to 15 kilos. With the 12-week, I've had people, which is called 12 Weeks Transformation Program, up to 20 to even 22, 25 kilos, depending on how determined and disciplined you are. All right, so here are the different programs. So with the 12-week, which is the most comprehensive and customizable, depending on which menu plan and exercise plan that you go on, we will teach you with those 12 weeks low glycemic impact eating, new favorite foods, healthy eating, alkaline food, as well as, the type of food that will give you energy. And then behavior modification, stress management, and that is the education component with the mindset, the mentality. And the third part is the body composition, which is, exercise and workout and, the different things that we talked about, the 4 pillars. So as you can see below, we've got the 12-week of the curriculum that anywhere between from TLS detox to living the lifestyle when we finish off at the last week of the 12th week. So if you want to do that, you can email me back or contact me through Facebook or WhatsApp, and you need to book with me and we're gonna start our program. So now if you're ready to feel and look great, if you're ready to lose weight, body fat, as well as centimeters or inches, if you want to have more energy, and if you want to jump out of bed every single morning with so much energy and improving your health, then I would highly recommend that you go through my next TLS 12-week comprehensive transformation group program. Because yes, the 30-day get lean during quarantine can get you some good results, short-term 2 to 5 kilos. But as I mentioned, with the 4 pillars, the last one is education. Knowledge is power. With the 30 days, yes, you would get quite a lot of training and coaching from me and others through our videos, through our posting in the exclusive Facebook group, but nowhere near the 12-week comprehensive group where I give so much more, including a holistic approach of wellness, not just weight loss, okay? So that's the 12-week. And not only that, I encourage you to, of course, get the health guide, the journal. If you can get ready to have the scale and tape measurement. We are going to be starting next Monday on the 11th of May. And if you're ready, give me an email and contact me. But if you think, oh, 1 week is too short a notice, I run this every single month. So you can always let me know, okay, I want to join the June one, July, or whenever. But while we are in lockdown mode during the isolation pandemic, a lot of us actually need to lose weight. Let me tell you this. Then this is a great time while you may have more time at home to do it. And we have a lot of home-based type exercises that you can join us as well. So registration is to contact me or the person who invited you to this particular Zoom meeting. And you can go on to my Facebook, which is facebook.com/TLS with Coach Kitty, TLS Coach Weight Loss and Wellness. And you can take a photo of this slide if you like to contact me, or you can email me back. So if you want to take charge of your health today, and if you're ready to stop feeling tired, stressed, overweight, frustrated, to make a change, live life to the fullest, then you can contact me or the person who invited you. So that is basically what I'd like to share today. And if any one of you would like to share your video so that I can see your beautiful face, because I always love to interact, especially now because I don't get to see people and hug them. I'm a hugging machine. Those who know me know that. So because I don't get to see you face to face, I at least can see your video. But let me, we've only got about 5 minutes before the top of the hour. For those of you who need to go, feel free to go. You can just contact me if you've got any question. But for those of you who want to stay behind, I'm going to be staying for a little bit longer so that if you've got questions, you can either unmute yourself and I'm going to go through some of the group chat, because this presentation is supposed to be only an hour and we've just passed right at the dot 1 hour. And so feel free to leave if you need to. But if you want to stay and spend some more time with me, you are very, very welcome. But I've got a couple of friends here which I've invited that have done really well in the past as my personal student and client to share about their results. So first, I'd like to invite Vera. I just unmuted Vera. If you want to share a little bit about yours and your partner's experience with TLS, please, Vera.
Yes, this is a wonderful program, and we have been on it a few times, mostly at least once a year, because we travel a lot, you know, as you know, when we are traveling, the type of food, especially to Asia, the type of food we got like roti and all that sort of thing. So my partner, he's every time after his trip, and then he'll come back and he'll say, I want to go on that program. And it's very successful for him. He tends to lose about 5 kilos for him. And of course, we do it together. And as for me, I would only lose about 2 and something because I am a small build. I don't have much fat on me. But it does, I can see the difference in me as well, because my tummy really got flatter.
Wonderful.
You know, so
that's good.
Yeah, that's really good. And I get a lot toner, you know, the body shape is better. It's really nice after going through it. And yeah.
I'm so happy because I still remember the first time we did the TLS overview was quite an early stage when I first started coaching. It was in fact in your house in Box Hill. Do you remember, Vera?
Yeah.
And I remember Lance was like, oh, okay, let me do it. And he was quite chubby then. And then after doing it, he now is really quite lean. And you, of course, you're always fit anyway. You always do a lot of exercises and all that. But even now you are like so defined and beautiful. And TLS definitely has helped us, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think it's one of the, and the other thing, and also a friend of mine, and I introduced her to it as well.
Yes.
She was the best, got the best result. She lost 8 kilos.
8 kilos, awesome.
Not in, she gone on for about 2 months.
Yes.
It was a wonderful, just following exactly what is prescribed there.
Yes.
She's done very well. Yeah.
Well done. Good on you, Vera. Not only have you and Lance have done well in your own weight management and wellness, you also have paid it forward to introduce that to others.
Yeah.
You know what? That is what I love to see as a personal, certified, transition lifestyle system, weight management trainer and coach. When I train others, that is what I love to see, because ripple effect. There's only one of me. I only have maximum 40 hours a week to help people. But if we can actually help others, there are so many people all around the world that need to be healthy, to lose weight. And what you've done, Vera, spot on. Good on you. Thank you for sharing. All right, so Grace is on. Grace, I've actually coached her in the previous 21 day, and she's done quite well actually with the 21 days. So Grace, would you like to share with us?
Yeah. Hang on. Let me see. Actually, I joined this one because at first is I got fatty liver, and then
that's right.
yeah, and then after detox, I feel a lot better. And also, along the way, along the journey, there are some, challenges, and then especially the weekend, you like to eat this and that. And then, and then I said, I should not give up. And then, another reason why keep me going.
Yes.
I got nice dresses, which I'm longing to wear for a long time, but because of my waistline, I can never put it on. So, every now and then, after a few days, I'll try on, and then, I said, it's getting better. So that is me going.
You know what, Grace? I've had so many of my clients from TLS tell me that is one of the biggest goals, to be able to fit into that skinny jeans or that black dress and like whatever that they used to be able to fit in before they get married.
Yeah.
So you've been able to achieve that. Well done, Grace.
Yeah,
thank you for that.
Yeah, and also now I still maintain my weight. Before I joined, I got 59. I was on 59 kg, and now I'm 55.3. So I'm still doing quite well.
Well done.
And also along this journey, we are not alone. Thank you, Kitty. You are always there for us. You are the wonderful coach. Thank you.
You are a wonderful student. You're a very, very good student. I know at times, I can be like, I'm the type of coach that I praise when you do well and I push when you don't do well. So you need to be both, you do well. Thank you. Great.
Thank you.
All right. Now, I see there was a message from Sharon Ang that said that she could not see what I was holding up. So now, can you see? This is the booklet that we have when you're doing the Get Lean during quarantine. It's a 30-day, okay, let me just stop my virtual background, maybe easier. Okay, just give me a second. Okay, so this is it. This is Sharon, if you couldn't see before, this is it. This is when we actually get our 30-day jumpstart kit. Comes with it, and this is an amazing booklet, only for 30 days. However, I would recommend for those of you who are doing the 8 weeks and the 12 weeks with the full comprehensive training and the program with the education, with the 12 topics with the curriculum I just shared with you, this is the one. It's a very thick one, that will help you to really get into a behavior modification and a wonderful discipline once you've been able to follow that. Okay, so now I would like to invite a gentleman. We've had a lot of ladies who've been doing this TLS with great success. I also have Brian, who is my really good friend for many years, who've done well in the last few weeks, as well as the Get Lean during quarantine, especially the first week. So Brian, may I ask you to share a little bit about your experience with TLS?
Sure. Yep. Thanks, Kitty. Yeah, I'm on the Sure and Steady. I started about 10, 11 weeks ago on the Sure and Steady. I didn't want to go into the too full-on a program to start with. And also, I was very, very skeptical of diets. I've tried many and haven't had a great success with them. When I was young, I used to rely on playing sport to get into shape.
Yeah.
But as you have a family and get older in years, I'm in my 50s now, and we really do need to rely on the food you eat, and exercise is wonderful too, but you just can't rely on that.
Sure.
So I need to learn better how to get the balanced diet right, and Kitty has been teaching me how to eat a lot more greens. Greens are superfoods. Honestly, I don't really like that many green vegetables. So what I have been doing is I hide them in the shakes. The shakes are really tasty. I can't believe how sweet they are.
Yes.
And I hide them in there and just to help the metabolism speed up. And so far I've lost 9.5 kilos in about 10, 11 weeks.
Wow, good job.
And originally, I thought I could only lose about 6 kilos in 6 months.
I remember that was your goal, right? Like 6 kilos, but now nearly 10.
6 months, yeah. And I lost 6 kilos in about 6 weeks. So that was just really encouraging. And I've had some ups and downs, but Kitty is always, yeah. I wonder whether there's about 10 Kitties, because she's so quick staying in contact and responding to questions, and I don't know how she does it. She's just got so much energy.
Because of TLS. That's why.
Well, it certainly helps. It's been really good. I'm probably about halfway there.
Yes.
So really enjoying getting more, yes, you say getting more energy, and not having to carry so much weight around, and also learning how to have better foods. Like I've learned recently just how to make a decent vegetable soup.
Yes, you have done really well. Like you've actually cooked some, like the puree that you shared in the Get Lean during quarantine, and taught me. Wow, you actually use the blender, like the blender or the like even me as your coach, I'm learning from you. You see? Yeah,
the NutriBullet, just to puree up the veggie soup, just to make it a bit more interesting. If you have it for a few days. But yeah, still learning. And tonight we had fish and barbecued fish and veggies, and yeah, it's working. I still do miss my carbs, which is why I like the Sure and Steady. But at the moment, we're on the lean during quarantine.
Yes.
And it's challenging, but it's good. It is good for me. And kind of like one of your other clients, when I'm doing badly, you challenge me, and when I'm doing well, you encourage me.
You are doing well, certainly doing well, because a lot of people can actually do 21 days, but 30 days is only another few days. So I'm sure that you can do well. So thank you for sharing. And
no problem, Kitty.
Yeah, appreciate it. And on that note, again, anyone who would like to start next Monday, please contact me either through WhatsApp, Facebook, or my email, and we can get started. Right now, we've already got about 17 people in that group. If you want to be part of an exclusive group on Facebook, we can do that. But otherwise, I wish every single one of you total wellness and the best of health. All right, so until next time, take care. Bye, everyone.